Hey Capricorn, how are we today? Just doing our weekly readings. This week we are sort of looking at what you need to know right now, anything important coming through. I am actually using the Celtic cross layout this week, so I don't normally use this particular layout, but sort of getting back to it. I thought I'd try something. Using this layout this week, and it is bringing forth some very interesting messages. So we'll see how we go for you. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We do have upcoming love messages in the next few days, so keep an eye out for those. I am using the Gilded Reverie Lenormand today, and straight on into it for you, Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. Capricorn, what is going on for Capricorn? What does Capricorn need to know right now? We're doing Capricorn, Celtic cross format, please, for Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, starting off with your energy. Okay, what is crossing you? What's behind you? What's ahead of you? Oh, yay. Your crown, what's beneath you, and then the 4 individual cards here, Capricorn. Your advice, the influences, hopes and fears, and the outcome. Okay, so I am using the bottom of the deck as like the overview, the topic matter. I do apologize for all the coughing and sniffling and whatever. We're having a lot of flooding and really bad weather here this week, and my allergies have been crazy, so I do apologize for that. So what we're seeing on the bottom of the deck for you, ooh, Capricorn. This is some strong energy as your overview energy here. Okay, and following the overview energy, we see your card as well, Capricorn. So very strong energy. Starting off with the cross. Spiritual connection. There is an element here of duty, responsibility, but it's kind of feeling like your responsibility to destiny, Capricorn. This is your destiny. Shall you choose to allow it? Having faith, trusting that the universe has got your back, trusting that the universe is things are happening for the right reasons, that regardless of whether they make sense, regardless of whether they feel like a weight on your shoulders or not, that it's all part of something more meaningful than just this, that there is a sense of destined energy here, trusting God, the universe, having faith, relying on your spiritual senses as well. I do talk quite often in the Capricorn readings about you guys being very actual, very strong spiritual energies and spiritual messages for you. Destiny is coming out to play this week, Capricorn. And I don't yet know what that means exactly. But we have the clover and the dice. The clover is in the traditional Lenormand, but the dice is actually an addition to this particular deck, and they talk about pretty much the exact same thing. Fortune on your side. Fortune favors the bold. Fortune, you've got good fortune. Short-term good luck. Generally short-term. Like, it's like, you pull that 4-leaf clover and you have good luck. You roll those dice and it all comes up, Capricorn. So the interesting thing is the clover is generally just general good luck. The dice does talk a little bit more about you controlling the luck because you're holding the dice and throwing them, and so there's an element of you taking it's a little bit more forceful as your involvement in taking a chance, taking a risk, taking a gamble, investing in something here, jumping in the deep end, Capricorn, throwing your dice in the ring and seeing where they fall, taking a chance on something or someone, taking a chance on trusting that the universe has got your back, taking a chance on yourself for some of you here. Interesting. So this will be a very muchly needing to take it as it resonates reading. It's going to be slightly different for everyone within the collective, because it is very connected to what is your intuition telling you, what feels right to you, what are you spiritually guided to, connected to. So your own spirituality, having a lot of connection with this reading rather than XYZ. This is XYZ, and I can just say black and white. No, it's not necessarily black and white. There's a lot of grey area for you this week, Capricorn, in this particular reading. Your energy, we have the mask. Putting up a front, Capricorn. This is you, Capricorn. I'm great. Everything's fine. I'm fine. Capricorn, the man of many faces. You know, it brings to light that Game of Thrones thing where they have like the wall of faces, and you can just pick and choose which face you're going to wear today. So this is you kind of wearing a mask quite a lot, Capricorn, that's hiding the truth of yourself. And I feel as though for a lot of you, your current energy is that you're wearing a mask to yourself as well. Why are you hiding from your own self? You're telling yourself that you're okay when you might not be. That doesn't feel 100% right. So it's like you're wearing a bit of a mask, Capricorn, wearing a bit of a mask, a bit of a front, that things underneath the surface are very different to the way that you're presenting them to be. It does still feel a little bit like the phrase of even to yourself coming into play here. I'm just going to clarify that. I haven't really needed that much clarity throughout a lot of these readings, but like I said, this is something else, Capricorn, this reading. Capricorn, clarify Capricorn's energy in the Celtic cross. Oh, okay, so it's just telling me then, look at that. Your card came out. Capricorn is Capricorn. There's just some challenges, and you're trying really hard to get through yourself, if that makes sense. For some of you, there may be a blockage within yourself, but you're persevering and you're trying. You really are trying, and I feel like for a lot of you, this mask energy is the only way that you know how to be right now. But right as I was sort of drawing that, before I drew that card and got distracted, it did just tell me and remind me that, not in the Celtic cross, not only is that the you energy, but it also does refer to the present time frame energy, right? Because the what's behind you in the past, what's in front of you in the future, and so your energy in the center is also known as the present energy. So for a lot of you, I feel like maybe that's more relevant. Okay, is the past, present, future part of this. Okay, so the past, present, future energy of this is, in the past we have the garden. I'll get to that. In the future we have the whip. In the current energy we have the mask. So we're kind of hiding, in the present we are hiding behind this mask. We're hiding something from ourselves, and we need to actually get to this future energy where, we kind of face it a little bit more, because even though this is conflict and drama and tension and trouble, sometimes it's even, conflict within oneself. You can't work through that drama without at first accepting it. And right now you're kind of hiding, masking the pain that this trouble, this tension, and not allowing it out. So the future energy is that we're going to actually connect a little bit more to the drama, to the pain, to the tension, the fight. I do feel as though this is, for a lot of you too, the future energy here is the fight to find myself, the fight to grow and heal and continue my journey regardless. That you're finding this fighting with energy within yourself, that, right now you're masking how much of a fighter you really are, Capricorn. There is an element of that as well. That past energy there, we have the garden. So the past energy is, this has got to, this is coming from something to do with social connections, your public face, definitely could be something to do with your public face, how other people perceive you with that mask energy there, especially, the way that other people perceive you. And maybe it's some sort of understanding about how other people perceive you. And that's what that present masking energy is showing us, that we need to actually, we're perceiving it in a different kind of way. And maybe we're, having this little bit of a fight with ourselves in the future about, well, I don't want to be perceived that way. I need to fight that version of myself, that public face. For others of you, this is something that I am hearing very clearly, that for some of you, this is like someone you dated, someone you met in the past, and you're masking the truth of the emotions, because the subconscious is emotions, okay? The subconscious is your emotional sensitivities, things that trigger you. So there's a lot of emotions under the surface here, Capricorn. What's crossing you, the challenge is the book. So the unknown factor is what challenges you here. The fact that you don't know. The fact that you don't know what's going to happen here. The fact that you want something to change. We have your ideal outcome, your crown is the scythe. You want something to come to an end. You want something to change, have sudden breakthrough, sudden harvest. But, you are willing to sort of cut something out of your life to have a break free from something. That's your desired outcome, that maybe you do need to break free from something, that you need to cut something out of your life in order to have this harvest, to have these sudden changes. But that the unknown scares you, and it challenges you, that I don't know what comes after that. I don't know what happens after that. It's so close to my heart. It's so many emotions connected to this, that, in the future, all I can see is trouble, drama, tension about this, that, I need to fight for me. Your advice is to stir the shit out of this, Capricorn. Stir yourself up a bit. Stir it up, stir it up, stir it up. Come up with new ideas, new perspectives on how to move forward with this. You need to be ready to face that conflict so that you can work through the conflict. Yeah? Stir it up, stir the shit out of yourself. You need to stir yourself up in in order to stir that conflict up within yourself, to stir that fight, that fighting spirit kind of thing. The external influences, we have the tree. So I feel like there's a strong external influence here of, I've actually grown and matured and learnt, and I'm wiser than this. I've actually healed. There's an external influence that you've actually healed more than you're allowing yourself to believe, and you've grown and developed, quite a lot. So as an external influence, I feel like the more that you're willing to take on the fight, the more you're actually going to realize that you are being influenced by, you do think about things in a new way now. You do have new ideas on how to deal with things. You actually have grown and changed quite a lot more than you're allowing yourself to believe, or from the way that your emotions are allowing you to believe here, from where the version of yourself that you were back here in the past. That mask is like you're putting on this mask of I'm still this person I was in the past, but there's this external influence of like, you know better than that now. You've actually grown and matured and you've wised up to, your own patterns and your own way of doing things. So there is hopes and fears here. I hope I can be strong enough. We have the bear. I hope I'm strong enough to get through this. I hope I can nurture myself enough. I hope I'm strong enough to put up strong boundaries here, but I fear that I'm not. I fear that I'm not strong enough. I fear that I can't put up my boundaries when I need to. I fear that I'm going to be defensive and aggressive rather than standing tall and firm and clear in my boundaries in a positive way. But standing strong, you need to fight for yourself here, Capricorn, whatever this is. It's all about fighting for yourself. And then the outcome, we do see stability. We have the anchor, realizing that you can actually rely on yourself and you can rely on positive outcomes for yourself more than you realize. You can rely on the universe. All you need to do is take that first leap into the unknown, and the universe has got your back, and it's leading you straight to this energy where you've got security and stability and something that you can rely on, you can depend on a stable outcome here. It's like part of the ship. It's not, it's part of you that you can weather any storm. You've got that anchor that you can now put down, that you can get through anything. If you can get through this, you can get through anything. All right. Any extra information for Capricorn in regard to this message? Any extra information for Capricorn in regard to this message, please? That's coming through a little bit straightforward here. Firstly, we have the pathway, the crossroads. So you can see in this card, it's like two doorways. Which door do I walk through? Making the choice, making a decision, knowing which path I'm following, choosing which path I'm following here. Once again, we do see, you're taking a chance to, follow your intuition and your, the universe is trying to guide you here to help you make these choices. But at the end of the day, free will does, come into play here with the crossroads. I do feel as though I've got two things on the sides of that, but I'm only seeing one. I only drew two cards. So I just want to check here. What's on the other side of that crossroad? What's the other doorway on the crossroads card, please? One doorway, choose money. Choose money. Choose what it makes you feel abundant. Choose that there's more fish in the sea. Choose wealth and abundance in whatever form that is. For some of you, that is choose money. Choose money. Abundance and wealth can be a lot more than just money, though, of course. Choose what makes you feel abundant in the world. On the other side of that doorway, we have the choice to look a little bit deeper and learn a little bit more before we actually make the choice. I feel like this is indecision a little bit here, Capricorn. Looking deeper, trying to research things a little bit more. Educating yourself a little bit more before you actually make that choice. Do you want to be specific for Capricorn about what this is actually in regard to at all, please? Your own wisdom will tell you the answer, Capricorn. It's not wanting to tell me exactly what this is. For a lot of you, it's kind of telling me that this is different for everyone within the collective. It's really up to you to know within your own self what it is that you're hiding from yourself, because you're currently hiding from it. So I can't just tell you because it's being hidden, it's being masked at the moment, and you're masking it at the moment. But there is a little bit of having to deal with yourself a little bit and pull yourself into line and unmask yourself and unmask those deeper sides of yourself. And question yourself if you want to get to, that's emotional stability, security, depending on yourself, relying on yourself. I did see the fox there as one of those cards as well. So, independence and relying on yourself, the knowledge that you can rely on yourself. more than you realize you can, Capricorn. That you're a fighter. You've got this fight within you, and I feel like maybe for some of you, that's all this is about, is that finding that fighting spirit within you, and stop hiding that fighting spirit within you. That could just be the message for some of you here. For others of you, like I said, it's got more to do with, this past, the mask that you're putting on towards others, the public face that you have, um, or how people perceive you. Could have to do with someone you've dated, or something you've met, that you tried to meet halfway in the past. Definitely, it does feel like a lot of public persona type energy there. So, that, take it as it resonates, Capricorn. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, see if it helps give you an extra layer to what this is all about for you. I'm going to definitely watch this video back in a couple of days and see if it makes more sense to me then. It's one of those readings where, Tyler Tarot would say, I'm not connecting to this reading, but then, people watching the video go, oh, this is that. So I'm hoping that that's the case. All right. But make sure you do subscribe, and I'll see you all again soon.